Haunted houses, the dark web, serial killers, experiments gone wrong, creatures in the woods, video games, scary... Wait, what? Video games? Believe it or not, yes! Creepypastas, based on or around video games, are among some of the most popular and well-known. They're typically about stumbling upon a haunted cartridge, an evil or possessed version of a beloved title, one that can somehow influence the player's mind or the physical world. Zelda, Pokemon, and many others. Where did these stories come from? And what do they tell us about gamers, readers, and haunted things in general? One thing these stories all have in common: they do what a video game should never be able to do. They affect the real world and cause physical harm. The first of these I ever saw, and still one of the best, was Pokemon Lavender Town Syndrome. It's February 27th, 1996. Pokemon Red and Green has just released in Japan. This is the dawn of one of the cheeriest pop culture phenomena of all time. So why is there a spike in suicides of children between ages 7 and 9? It all started when they reached Lavender Town in the game. They first reported headaches from the high-pitched music of the gloomy graveyard town. The music was fixed as soon as possible, but the damage was done. So the story goes anyway. Fiction. But hey, it's not a ridiculous notion that Pokemon could cause harm to children, right? In 1997, a certain episode of the Pokemon anime, now banned in the US, caused violent seizures in hundreds of Japanese children due to its flashing blue and red lights. Knowing this makes the fiction a bit more believable. And why did Pokemon feel the need to have a graveyard town anyway? Any mention of Pokemon dying are extremely few and far between in both the games and the other forms of media. Speaking of media, Lavender Town also had what the best creepypastas always do: mixed media. Meaning it's not just reading a story, text on a page. You can go listen to the purported beta song right now. I've been playing it for the past few minutes. And while it's just a story, and you know it can't actually hurt you, it amps up the creepy factor nonetheless. It can't actually hurt you, right? There are other great video game pastas out there. There's Pokemon Black, Ben Drowned about the Zelda series, Polybius about an arcade cabinet that made people sick with headaches and hallucinations, NES Godzilla, packed with fantastic pixel art companions that devolve into creepier hellscapes with the waning insanity of the narrator. Here's where the haunted cartridge trope rears its head and makes some of the lower quality stories run together. Why are there so many creepypastas about haunted video games? Why is it so easy to suspend our disbelief for these outlandish stories? It's simple. They're often steeped in truth. Developers have been hiding Easter eggs and secrets in games since the dawn of gaming. From Adventure on the Atari 2600 to God of War on the PS2.
By the gods, you've done it. Somehow you found your way here to me. I offer you my congratulations and my respect. Together, we shall conquer the perils that lay before us, and we shall always...
Dude, they did it. They found our Easter egg.
Who are you?
It's me, David Jaffe. I directed the game.
What?
The ingenuity of these secrets never fails to amaze me, to the point that some aren't found till years later, even in the age of the internet. Game Trailers had an incredible show based on investigating these called Pop Fiction. You can still check it out on YouTube. But I have another theory. It's not what's in games, it's what's in games. Chips and processors and capacitors and circuits, electricity into game. That's practically magic, right? Obviously, it isn't, but our lack of understanding makes it that much easier to picture a poltergeist living in those plastic and silicone pieces. Where there is ambiguity, there is fear. I once took a stab at making a mobile game. I made all the graphics and audio and did all the programming. But I used external libraries, code written by dozens of others, and so I stood on the shoulders of giants. And as a result, I still didn't understand the nuances of turning code and electricity into game. The thing is, attributing power to an inanimate object or work of art is nothing new. Games are a new medium, but before them, we used books. The Book of the Dead in Egyptian mythology, the Roskina, a Christian book of black magic that was thought to control Satan. And how about those Infinity Stones from a certain blockbuster superhero franchise? Point is, a gem or book could never affect the physical world in the way that it does in our fiction. And yet, the Warrens Occult Museum exists, cataloging haunted and powerful items. My personal favorite attribution of power to objects is significantobjects.com, in which over 200 writers contributed made-up histories to everyday objects, which were then sold on auction sites to raise money for charity. It's a hilarious, poignant site, well worth checking out. Above all, we simply want to believe. We want to believe there's more meaning to squeeze out of a 10-year-old game. We want to believe there's another secret lurking within the plastic. We want to believe a game can change our lives and the world, that we didn't just waste our time playing it. Well, I'm here to tell you, I don't think we did. Even if we weren't in danger while playing them, games did change our lives, taught us lessons, brought us together, brought you here to the end of this video. And I'm so glad it did, because I'm glad you're here. And thanks for watching.